Local music legend reflects on his long career from the performing and business side of rock and roll.
When I was very young, I started playing drums around 12 or 13 years old, and played in bands all through high school and college. When I started managing, the Sims Brothers Band was the name of my band, and when I started managing that band, they ended up turning to me and going, "Wait a minute, you know all the songs and you're a drummer, so why don't you play?" Well, I reluctantly said okay. I was enjoying the business side of the music business at that point, but I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'll play for a little while until we find somebody. One thing led to another. We got a record deal on Electra Asylum Records, and we ended up making 2 albums, and we toured the country. We were rehearsing in a rehearsal studio in New York City, and our manager walked in. It was a day after we played with Peter Frampton at the New Haven Coliseum, and he said, "Guess where you're playing tomorrow night, boys?" And we went, "Where, Mel?" And he goes, "Madison Square Garden." "No, really, boys, you're playing there." And we go, "No, we're not, Mel. Get out, will you, please?" He goes, "No, seriously, tomorrow night you're playing at Madison Square Garden. Peter Frampton wants you guys to play. He liked what you did the other night." We had done, some fairly large outdoor concerts, and obviously we had just played at the New Haven Coliseum, but this was 18,000 people. Robert Sabino, who's a brilliant keyboard player, was the keyboard player in our band. And Robert was to my left on the stage, and his mother was up on the side where the seats go up. And she was over there, and they're from the Bronx, and she was yelling with her accent. She was going, "Robert! Robert! Over here, Robert!" And I looked at Robert, and he was like, "Oh man, I can't believe she's doing that." I was thinking, "Oh, you poor guy, you finally made it to Madison Square Garden. Your mother is embarrassing." After that, a week later, Peter Frampton called our managers and said, I want the band to go on tour with me, and we're leaving now." So a week later, we got on a tour bus and toured the country with Peter Frampton. We spent 6 years with this band, and we had a really good run. We had minor hits, not big enough to sustain a career, and I was getting to be in my late 20s, and I said, I better think about getting some real work here and stop trying to be a rock star. So I managed a record production company in New York City, and you're on the opposite side of the fence. Now you're a talent buyer. I work with a lot of artists like David Bowie and Madonna, Mick Jagger, Diana Ross, the B-52s, Stevie Ray Vaughan. A lot of them were just really, really great people and down to earth. I mean, I was not starstruck with Mick Jagger. Yeah, at first you're going, wow, this is amazing. I'm in the same room with Mick. I'm actually working with him. But, that wears off, and you do your job. He was just so relaxed and friendly and really kind of normal. You have to be very careful not to let these things go to your head and go, well, I'm a big shot now. I treated everybody with ultimate respect, and it all worked out really well.